Oh boy, my friends, we have made it. We're about to enter the true final season of Eddy. And I don't think it's controversial to say this is the most controversial season of the show. Like Samurai Jack's 5th season, this season is a game changer. The status quo goes right out the window in the first episode, and some of the fandom really doesn't like that. And that's okay. I personally think the final season of any show will have something in it the audience doesn't like. So now to the elephant in the room. The cul-de-sac kids go back to school. The eternal summer vibes of the first 4 seasons are gone and now replaced with cruel reality. And I would have been surprised by this change if the specials didn't spoil it before it happened. So with all this in mind, let's take a journey through the most controversial and, in my opinion, the most underrated season of the show. Episodes 1 and 2, Seize the Ed. The cul-de-sac goes back to school and a new brand of chaos begins. So, gotta get this off my chest. The airing order for Season 5 was stupid. This is the true first episode. And in it, Eddy pulls the greatest con in the entire series. An angry mob ransacks Double D's house. They still haven't learned to not trust Ed with anything. And Rolf is so damn relatable in this episode.
The days of reckoning are upon us, half-naked Ed boys. It is here that we shall be mercilessly judged.
And it's just the first day of school and the Eds have already made a deal with the devil.
Let the sky fall and it crumble.
Episode 3, Secret Agent Ed. Double D must deliver Ed and Eddy's report cards to their parents before the duo can stop him. My takeaways are the report card changing kit, courtesy of Eddy's brother. Double D is...
I'm poppin', y'all!
And the angry Kevin wraparound.
A long, long time ago, I can still remember.
Episode 4, Quantum Ed. Reminiscing leads to unintentional time travel. My takeaways are...
Somebody's up top!
This is one of the most unique episodes, taking full advantage of cartoon logic and physics. And you get to see the origin of some of the most iconic things in the series. Episode 5, The Eds Are Due on Maple Street. A blackout leads to fear and panic over an invasion of mole mutants. My takeaways are, even in the apocalypse, Eddy tries to make a quick buck. And despite this being an imagined threat, it is cool to see all the cul-de-sac kids work together to survive. And this episode handles tone and atmosphere better than most episodes.
Soiled it! Soiled it! Soiled it! Soiled it! Soiled it!
Episode 6, Soil Ed. Double D tries to take a shower and the entire world says no. My takeaways are, Double D's parents are awful, and so are everyone else in this episode.
Your head's bottomless!
Episode 7, Sex Ed. Sarah and Jimmy try to learn where babies come from. That's normally how you avoid having a baby.
These words Rolf is about to share have been whispered down the bushy ears of Rolf's forefathers. Are you ready to accept the disclosure of newborn life? You are children. Go away.
And Ed flies like an eagle or a stork, whatever.
Happy
think you need a shotgun blast, a kick in the ass, so paranoid.
Episode 8, Ed Pal. Ed's pen pal's gifts upset Rolf, leading to a confrontation. My takeaways are, Rolf's flashback and backstory provide interesting insight into his heritage. Rolf's irrational and aggressive behavior seems to come from PTSD from his childhood. And Rolf's sex dungeon is a cool environment full of atmosphere. Episode 9, Ed of the Phoenix. The Eds and Johnny plan an escape from school. My takeaways are a fantasy of many kids coming true, they all have perfect camouflage, and this episode has a great build-up and climax. Episode 10, Easy Ed. Ed usurps Double D's role of smart guy, leading to Eddy exploiting the situation. My takeaways are,
Poppycock! Curse this monkey ritual of English words! Thank you, Nana!
Double D's pride is his downfall, and Johnny's subplot is creepy but hilarious.
What hater?
Episode 11, Ed Piper. Rolf entrusts the care of his animals to Ed, and my takeaways are, the opening slapstick with the Eds and Johnny is hilarious, and Ed's epic flute solo in the and
Purr like a bunny, purr like a bunny, purr like a bunny.
Rabbits don't purr, Ed!
Episode 12, Change of Ed. Eddy goes undercover to find out who is slandering him. My takeaways are, Eddy takes to his new identity and goes native, and Eddy's new popularity leads to him abandoning Ed and Double D, and Ed pulls a bad man.
Harvey, where did you go? Two-Face is back and he looks super pissed.
Episode 13, Read Ed and Weep. Eddy takes over the school newspaper and spreads lies and destruction. My takeaways are, this episode inspired me to make a satirical paper in middle school.
I'd rather wear its underwear for a week.
Not today, Eddie. I'm flying solo.
And Ed constantly mispronouncing Bobby Blabby is hilarious.
Bubba bobble. Bibby boo boo. Bibby boo boo.
It's Bobby Blabby! Get it right!
Episode 14, Needle and Ed. Eddy discovers Kevin's fear of needles and makes his life a living hell. My takeaways are, there are a couple of intense scenes, and Eddy cosplays as Injection Fairy Lily, and the needle running gag.
Needle! Needle!
You've been left on your own, like a rainbow in the dark.
Episode 15, Tales of Eddsea. Eddy shatters Jimmy's belief in fairy tales and Sarah forces him to fix it. My takeaways are, the best joke is in the first 10 seconds, and depressed Jimmy is a bit too relatable, and Rolf's load of baloney running gag.
We have finished talking! Good night!
Episode 16, Ed Measuring Contest. Eddy challenges Rolf to gain the most coveted Urban Ranger badge. My takeaways are, Eddy and Rolf roasting each other is hilarious.
Rolf sees the urban rangers are far too demanding for one whose head resembles the side table to a couch.
I smell a chicken!
A chicken, Eddie.
Yep, a big urban free ranger chicken! I got a badge for you, Mr. Chicken! How about the go home and lay an egg badge?
This is probably the most brutal episode, and the final challenge is epic in scale.
We are the champions.
Episode 17, The Longest Ed. The Peach Creek Cobblers face their biggest football game ever. My takeaways are, Ed is especially funny in this episode, and he gets more character growth than usual. And this episode is pretty brutal too. Episode 18, Rude Ed to the Spot. The Eds and Johnny have an Arbor Day party. My 3 takeaways are,
It's all fun and games till Ed loses consciousness, Eddie.
Eddie's entrance is cool, and
Let him make a wish, you said! Then we would leave, you said!
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker.
Episode 19, Bet on Ed. Annoyed with each other's habits, the boys place a bet to see who can go longest without caving. My takeaways are,
Don't touch that dial, kids!
Ed and Rolf have serious dietary issues, and the cafeteria scene is just pure troll humor done perfectly.
Ready for those flashing lights.
Episode 20, No Ed Photography. Kevin tortures Eddy. There, I saved you 11 long boobless minutes. My takeaways are, this is the worst Season 5 episode by far. If Eddy did something to Kevin and this was his revenge, it would be fine. But he didn't.
Make sure you get my good side, bozo!
I guess that rules out our face then.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around.
Episode 21, Race to Ed Mountain. The Eds miss the bus to their Jawbreaker factory field trip and have to make it on their own. My takeaways are,
Goldfish? Perhaps some tasty rations. There's enough to sustain 3 lives for... Goldfish?
it has an epic bus chase, not outdone until Big Picture Show. And the Eds hit the sky. Why do I feel like there's a metaphor there somewhere? Episode 22, National Treasure. Eddy discovers he is descended from the original founders of Peach Creek and plans to collect. My takeaways are, the additional lore is always appreciated, and hijacking the TV broadcast is pretty impressive revenge, and the ending twist is quite surprising and recontextualizes the entire series.
Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit, you ain't no friend of mine.
Episodes 23 and 24, The Edsiders. Double D is branded school bully after beating up Lee Kanger. My takeaways are, this has the only dick joke in the entire series.
It's been reduced to that at the size of a baby's bazoo.
Ed's volume button is funny.
Through the fuzz of our belly button existence!
Eddy makes a good greaser. The misdirect is well done. And Double D and Jimmy's heart-to-heart is touching. The ending fight scene at the pit is a highlight of the episode. And Eddy standing up to the Kangers is one of the best moments in the whole series.
He's had enough already! Beat it!
Good one, Eddie.
Vultures!
Wow, that was a lot. All in all, I get why this season is disliked. However, after revisiting it, I've come to appreciate it more. It does have the record for the most episodes I disliked, with a total of 3, but there are some of my favorite episodes in this season. I think it is a worthy addition to the series, but it does leave us in a weird place story-wise. Season 4's finale was dark, but it did feel like an appropriate ending for the show. So, how was the show supposed to end then? Well, in a big way. Thank you so much for taking this year-long journey with me, returning to the cul-de-sac and reliving my childhood memories. I've got the Halloween special coming out next month and the big finale after that. So thanks for watching. See you next time, Ed Boys.
I have finished talking. Goodbye.
Take that home with you!